Hi viewers, welcome to my channel. In this lecture, we'll discuss end-to-end implementation of Spark project. Uh, this is a very important. Once you are completing or done with your Hadoop training, so it is very important to know how to what will be the end-to-end flow of a Spark project. In this lesson, I will explain end-to-end uh, steps of a Spark project. I'm considering Spark Hadoop environment is Cloudera or Hortonworks. And for any project, um, usually with Hadoop, what kind of projects we will do is data warehousing project, means ETL project. So something data will be available in source, whether it is in RDBMS or in its files or in mainframes, data will be available in some other system. Okay, as part of this project, we have to move that data from source to target, source to Hadoop. We are using HDFS as storage. First, we have to migrate that data from source to staging area, that is storage, Hadoop. There, we have to process the data using Spark. You can Spark is supported by all the four languages, right? Scala, Java, Python, and R. So usually, most 90% projects will use Scala only, Spark Scala, because Spark has been developed using Scala language. So all the transformations and everything will do using Spark. And once processing is done, the final whatever data set that will be stored in again as a Hive table or Impala table. So that is called main data warehouse. So first is a source, then source we have to copy from source to um, storage, that is Hadoop. Once processing is done using Spark, that final data set or data frame will save as a Hive table. Okay, in same Hadoop, same framework. So all the processed data will create with the Hive tables. So that will call as main data warehouse. So data is ready. Okay, we have modified, we have applied all our transformations and saved as a Hive in a Hive database. Hive database here nothing but uh, data warehouse here. From there, uh, as part of this Hadoop project, our job is to read the data from the source, load into the Hadoop, and process in Hadoop using Spark and Scala or any preferred programming language, and storing that final result as a into Hive database as a Hive table. That is a project. That is a as a data engineer you have to do. After that, the business BI people will take your whatever tables you have created, final output data output tables, and they will develop the dashboards. Okay, this is the end to end. So mainly 90% source will be any database. Now earlier for storage we used to store data in RDBMSs, right? That famous RDBMS is Oracle, SQL Server, Netezza, Teradata, all this. Earlier, for all the data warehousing projects, ETL projects, we they used to people used to use normal RDBMS. So we have already lot of companies have data already in RDBMSs like Oracle and SQL Server like that. Most of the for most of the projects, source is a database. Some companies they will have they will be maintaining data in form of files. So okay, like for example, mainframe, or if you are getting daily sales data in CSV format, JSON, all these file formats also one of the source. And third one is a cloud. So you can consider source as a cloud also, because in cloud in S3 will store the uh, data, right? S3 also we can read. Okay, we have APIs in Spark to read the S3. If you are using Azure blob storage, that blob storage also we can use as a storage, and GCP Google storage. So all this will consider as a source. So if your data source is Oracle, first what you have to do, there are two ways to read the data from Oracle to Hadoop environment. First one is a scoop. Second one is directly Spark have a JDBC concept, right? So using JDBC directly you can connect to the Oracle DB and pull the data to the Spark and you can process and save. Okay, that is one way. The preferable way is scooping the data. Scoop, we have one module in Hadoop. First, what we have to do, what are the required tables you want from the source? That tables you have to scoop and as a first job, and you have to copy to the, we have to move that to Hadoop platform. Okay, as a file or Hive table, that is up to us. Okay, architecture based on the architecture. First step, as a first job, we have to copy the data from Oracle to Hadoop as a HDFS files. Okay, HDFS files or Hive tables directly if it is a small data. Then that whatever tables you have created, that we have to read using Spark API. Okay, Spark, in Spark we'll write we'll develop the code Spark Scala. Using Spark Scala we'll perform all our transformations and action, and after means all business logic you will perform in Spark and Scala. So who will give business logic? Business analyst will give what we have to do, what requirement, how to process this data, what is our need. All these things, business analyst, she will, business analyst will explain. Okay, how business analyst will know all these things? Business analyst job is to interact with the clients, and they has to business analyst should gather the requirements, they have to document in okay, Confluence, everything. Okay, so once processed based on business logic, the output will be saved as a Hive or Impala table or HDFS files that will be used by the BI team. This is a flow of a normal Hadoop Spark project. Okay, I am considering this is a Hortonworks cluster or Cloudera cluster. Okay, this is the flow. You have to explain like this. Source, storage for processing Spark, and again processed data will store in data warehouse like Hive, Impala, again BI. So what are the tools we are going to use if you are working in Cloudera or Hortonworks? So environment should be Java 1.8. Okay, for processing Spark is the latest version, Spark 3.0, or successful version is 2.3.1, Spark 2.3.1. In Scala 2.11.12 also it is fine for Spark 2.3.1. For coding and all, you can use Eclipse or IntelliJ IDEA. Those people who are from Java background, they know how to use from Eclipse. They can use Eclipse or IntelliJ. If you are new to these tools, you can use start directly using IntelliJ IDEA. Okay, and code repository is a GitHub. So there are three environments will be there in any agile project. So development, UVAC, production. So All this will be automated using CI/CD pipeline, CI/CD Jenkins pipeline, like DevOps. So how to integrate our Spark code with the DevOps means Jenkins file. So they will provide DevOps team, they will register your project and they will provide Jenkins file. That Jenkins file will be you will be using in your IntelliJ project. Okay, properties in the as a separate file. Okay, so once your Spark code is done, we have to building jar file and we have to build jar file. Automatically, jar file will be generated in the CI/CD pipeline, and that jar file we have to use in the Spark submit. Once Spark submit is ready, that Spark submit we have to kept in a shell script, and that shell script we have to execute from the Airflow. Okay, I'm considering in this scenario, we are using Airflow as a scheduling tool. Then once shell script will Airflow job is created, then directly we can schedule through Airflow. If you trigger the job in Airflow, that shell script will be called. That shell script having sparse submit, that jar file will be called. Then accordingly, that whatever logic you have written, that will be executed. Output will be generated. Okay. This is a end-to-end, okay, Hadoop Spark project with the Hadoop. Okay, for source, storage, processing, and again data warehouse. Then BI. This is a end-to-end project. This is how we'll do end-to-end project in Hadoop with the Spark. And uh, one more thing we have to use uh, we have to use Maven. Most of the projects we will use Maven as a build tool. You are in to write the code, we'll create package, right? In Spark package, Spark Scala. So there will be very built tools will be there, SBT, Maven, and Gradle. So we have to use Maven because it's very easy to build jar file for testing and all. Okay. So here build tool is Maven, JDK is 1.8, Scala, Spark, for code repository GitHub or Bitbucket, then scheduling tool Airflow. Okay, this is the uh, Cloudera with the Spark project end to end. Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any doubts, okay, just uh, mention in your comments. Okay, thanks for watching.